Hello, back again on the Top Recap channel. This time I will tell a movie's entitled Enola Holmes 2. Let's get straight into the storyline. The story begins with Enola deciding to open a new detective agency without the help of her brother. Enola believes that she can successfully develop her talent. Many people come to her, but all they ask is about Enola's brother, Sherlock Holmes. They assumed that Enola was Sherlock Holmes's secretary. Sherlock himself was still very busy with the case he was handling. Enola then gets a dance invitation from Tewkesbury, a man who likes her. Tewkesbury is still working in the Parliament. His vision is to reform the laws of justice. Meanwhile, Enola's mother is still a fugitive from the police. Enola decides to stop being a detective because Enola's detective office is quiet and has no visitors. But suddenly, a little girl came to her. This girl was named Bessie. She was looking for her missing adopted sister, and Enola followed Bessie straight to her house without a second thought. Her missing adopted sister was Sarah Chapman, with red hair, green eyes, and a kind heart. It is known that Sarah Chapman has been missing for 1 week. Not long after, Sarah's friend May arrived. She was not happy with Enola's presence. She said that Sarah just ran away from there rather than disappearing. Enola then found lipstick, a dead plant, and a piece of paper that read, March 12th. May, who is not happy, leaves. Besides working at the match factory, Bessie says Sarah also works somewhere. She last saw Sarah during an argument with the foreman at the factory a week ago. Sarah was accused of stealing, but Bessie believes her sister did not do that. The next day, Enola goes to the match factory with Bessie. Enola applied to be a new employee there. Before entering, the foreman checked the mouths of the employees to see if there were any signs of typhus. At that time, typhus was rife, and many people died in the last 2 years. The main ingredient in making matches is phosphorus. It smells at first, but you get used to it over time. There were an estimated 500 workers in the match factory. While Enola is working, May is still watching her. Enola is looking for a way to get into the office on the second floor. Enola is sure that there is something hidden there. Thanks to the skills and techniques she learned from her mother, Enola managed to make the foreman make a small mistake, so she took the opportunity to infiltrate the office. Enola saw an old-fashioned lighter with a red head, while the one she had been working on had a white head. Enola also saw the employee data book that Sarah had torn out in the middle, because Enola found a strand of Sarah's red hair. This means that Enola's accusation of stealing is true. Enola then heard that the company's owner was discussing the theft problem in another room. But soon they came out. Enola immediately hid while monitoring conditions outside the room. That's when Enola was seen by a black woman named Mira Troy. Long story short, Enola managed to return to her workplace. Meanwhile, the factory owner brought his son, William, and an investor and Minister of Finance named McIntyre to look around the factory. The scene then moves to midnight. At that time, Enola was stalking May. Enola suspects that May actually knows something about Sarah's disappearance. Enola then saw May enter a bar. Enola found out that May had a side job, working as a dancer member at the bar. Enola then sneaked backstage to find other information. There, Enola finds the same lipstick Sarah wore. But suddenly, May came and pointed a knife at her. Enola knew that May was helping Sarah to steal office documents. Enola managed to fight back and took turns pointing a knife at May. Then, someone comes and tells May to get ready because she will reappear. Enola then asked for help from the person earlier to show Sarah's desk. The person also said that Sarah had a regular customer who was rich, a man who likes to give her flowers and a letter. Enola then managed to find the letter. Enola read it and saw a flower mark under the letter. After that, Enola felt that someone was following her from behind. But she was saved when Enola met a drunk Sherlock. Sherlock was working on a very complicated case, so he went drinking at the bar to relieve his stress. Enola helps Sherlock to get into his very messy house.
I can do it.
She finds the case her brother is working on. In the morning, Sherlock blames Enola for shuffling his case files. He also knew that Enola was handling a case related to the match factory. It can be seen from Enola's blackened fingernails in the morning. Plus, there were red marks on her neck, where she had been strangled or held at knife point. Sherlock was afraid that his sister was involved in a dangerous case, because after all, Sherlock was her guardian.
Still my ward.
Enola then leaves Sherlock's house. She came to a park and opened the letter again. After looking at the letter, Enola finally solved the hidden message in the letter that led to an address. Enola became excited, but when she arrived at the address, the door was open. Enola went inside, looked around and found a strand of red hair left in the comb. After that, she found May, who was dying on the bed. Enola tried to help suppress the bleeding, but unfortunately, May's life was not saved. Before she died, May had pointed to a paper containing song notes. Enola immediately hid it in her sleeve. Inspector Lestrade then came because he heard screams. He then saw Enola's bloodied hands. After that, Lestrade's colleague, Inspector Grail, came. Enola recognized the sound of the same iron rod that had followed her that night. Inspector Grail has had problems with Enola's mother and Sherlock. He knows Enola is working on Sarah Chapman's case, so she came here. But Inspector Grail says that Sarah is wanted by the police accused of theft and extortion. Inspector Grail then suspects Enola as the person who killed May. He also saw a piece of paper tucked into Enola's arm. Grail asked Enola to hand over the paper, but Enola refused to hand it over and immediately fled the place. There was a chase between the police officers and Enola, until Enola finally manages to escape by hiding in Sherlock Holmes's place. But before that, Lestrade came to Sherlock's place to tell him about Enola being accused of murder. Lestrade said that Enola was currently wanted by the police, so he came to Sherlock's place to check on her.
Braden Lestrade. My father thought it...
After Lestrade left, Enola appeared from behind the wall. It turns out that Enola heard all of Sherlock and Lestrade's conversation from behind the wall, and it turns out that Sherlock is currently facing a deadlock in his case. Enola volunteered to help Sherlock. Sherlock tells Enola if he has a case where a math genius is playing a trick on him. Sherlock had checked the flow of funds, and it turned out that the flow of funds had changed banks several times. But in the end, the money ended up in one account, which seemed to be a corruption case. It is also known that the perpetrator has broken into the office of the Ministry of Finance, with the characteristic of the perpetrator using a fedora hat. But strangely, the perpetrator only took documents. This time, it was Enola's turn to talk about her case. Enola gave Sherlock a letter marked with flowers. With one look, Sherlock immediately knew the letter pointed to an address. Enola also gave Sherlock a paper with the notes of a song on it. Sherlock then plays the song and says that it has a bad sound. Sherlock then told Enola to stay there, while he would go to the address to check the crime scene. Sherlock discovers that the door is forced open. Then there was a fedora hat there, similar to the description of the man who broke into the Ministry of Finance in his case. Sherlock also notices that across the room is an advertisement for the lighter where Sarah works, and again, the place appears in Sherlock's case. In other words, Sherlock and Enola's cases are interconnected. Meanwhile, Enola opens the latest stack of newspapers. She sees in the news a bachelor dance, and Tewkesbury has been invited to it. The party was organized by the owner of the match factory. Enola also discovers the meaning of the word March 12th, which apparently refers to the name of a place. The party will be presided over by William, the son of the match factory owner. And the flowers on the letter are called Sweet William flowers, which means the letter was written by William to Sarah.
Sweet William.
In the evening, Enola came to the party.
On the stage, I'll always take it.
The Minister of Finance, McIntyre, was also seen there. He was welcoming the guests who had arrived. He also said that within 2 years, the match business had grown rapidly. But Enola didn't care about McIntyre, because she initially targeted William. But Enola was confused about how to approach William, and suddenly, a woman approached her. It turned out that the woman was Mira Troy, the woman she had seen at the match factory. Mira Troy is the personal secretary of the Minister of Finance. Mira tells Enola that if she wants to get close to William, she must be able to dance with him. Mira also gives a fan that girls use as a gesture to ask for a dance.
You could always try with that.
Meanwhile, Sherlock begins to understand the pattern in his case. It follows 27 basic dance moves.
For poker, dial 27 and turtle.
He opened his book and started writing letter by letter. Back to Enola, she accidentally saw Tewkesbury on the other side, so Enola asked Tewkesbury to teach her to dance. Enola says that this dance is very important because she is looking for a kidnapper or a murderer. Tewkesbury is very good at dancing, and their relationship starts to become close from the dance.
The rhythm.
Before leaving, Tewkesbury gives Enola a dance card that she must have if she wants to ask someone to dance. From William's room, a woman was seen coming out. Enola then approached William and asked him to write on her dance card. She matched William's writing exactly with the one in the letter. This means that William was the person who sent the letter to Sarah.
Tis he.
After that, Enola met the woman again. The woman's name was Cicely. Cicely kept complimenting Tewkesbury and making Enola jealous. She also wanted to ask Tewkesbury to dance with her. She said she had something important to talk about, and it's time for the dance to take place. Enola dances with William, while Tewkesbury dances with Cicely. Enola then asked William about Sarah's whereabouts, but William is like a frightened person. He says that he is being watched. If you want to talk later after the dance.
Library at midnight.
Meanwhile, Sherlock has solved the riddle of his case. The letters found form a sentence. Nice to meet you, Sherlock Holmes. Signed, Moriarty.
Moriarty.
Meanwhile, Enola is waiting for William's arrival, but Tewkesbury arrives. They had an argument because Tewkesbury was jealous.
If you're still here, you may scare him away.
Scare him.
Soon, William arrives along with Inspector Lestrade. Lestrade wants to arrest Enola, who is accused of being the perpetrator of May's murder. Before being caught, Enola had left a paper containing a song note to Tewkesbury. Enola was then put in prison. She was interrogated by Inspector Grail. Enola asked why Grail had followed her that night. Grail then threatened that if Enola would not tell where Sarah was, then he would kill Bessie. Grail then sentenced Enola to hang.
Then you're for the noose.
Meanwhile, Sherlock gets a message from Lestrade that Enola is under arrest. Sherlock rushed to the police station to free Enola, but Grail stopped him.
Mr. Holmes.
Sherlock explains what happened at the scene. Before Enola came to the scene, May was approached by 3 people who fought with her. One of the perpetrators had a scar on his hand. One of the Grail's men appears to have a scar on his hand.
Using a sharp.
But the Grail has solid evidence, namely about Enola's fingerprints found on the knife that was the murder weapon. Knowing that, Sherlock can't do anything, and leaves. Sherlock then comes to the house of Edith, his mother's friend. He asks Edith for help to free Enola from prison.
I need your help.
The next day, Enola prepares to be hanged. Many female prisoners surround Enola. Enola thinks that she will fight with all of them, but suddenly Edith comes by, breaking through the prison wall. Enola can finally escape and meet her mother waiting for her in the carriage. But the police didn't just let Enola escape, they immediately chased her. But Enola and Edith's mother had already prepared the homemade bombs that were their speciality. After some time, the police carriage returned, and this time, it was Enola's turn to throw the bomb. Inside the horse-drawn carriage, her mother supported what Enola was doing. Her mother also said that maybe Enola didn't see what was in front of her eyes. But then Grail came with his rifle. Grail also managed to turn the chariot upside down. Grail and his men immediately surrounded the 3 of them. Grail was very happy to meet Enola's mother, who was a police fugitive. But the 3 are no ordinary women, especially Edith, a karate teacher. They managed to defeat Grail and his troops. They then escaped by detonating a bomb on their horse-drawn carriage. Enola was also given neat clothes by her mother. Her mother admits that she raised Enola, Sherlock, and Mycroft to be strong, tough, and independent children. But it would be better if Enola had a partner to help her. Enola would be a complete and wonderful person. Edith and her mother finally let go of Enola, who was going to solve her case. They parted ways in the middle of the forest. Enola returned to Bessie's house. She warned Bessie that she was in danger. Enola looked back at the dead plant, the soil mixed with white like the color of the tip of a match. While the other plant is still alive, the soil is mixed with the red color of the previous match tip. Bessie told Enola it had been 2 years since the match tip changed color, just like an outbreak of typhus. So, all this time, May and Sarah were doing research with matchsticks. Enola also found a mouse that died from cheese given white powder from the match tip. The conclusion was that the match factory substituted a cheaper phosphorus material to make more profit. But the side effect was the death of its employees. They reasoned that their employees had contracted typhus, when in fact, it was because they were constantly breathing in phosphorus mixed with the air. Enola then came to Tewkesbury's place. She discussed the case. While they are talking, Tewkesbury is visited by Cicely, who asks for Tewkesbury's help. Enola, who saw her from behind the plant, became jealous. But Tewkesbury says that Cicely is working on a bill to change the factory law, but she found corruption there. Enola immediately realized that the person she had been looking for was before her eyes. Cicely is Sarah Chapman. Cicely is wearing the same dress as the one in the bar.
Cicely is Sarah! Cicely.
After that, Enola left. But Tewkesbury stopped Enola and said that he loved her. He said he had given her the password through the fan at the previous party. It turned out to be the same password that Sarah had used on William. So, the 2 of them are actually lovers who love each other. William intends to expose a corruption case in his father's company. For this reason, Cicely came to ask Tewkesbury for help because Tewkesbury is a member of Parliament. After that, Enola also said that she loved Tewkesbury.
As it turns out, I love you too.
After that, they both came to the match factory. Tewkesbury stood guard outside, while Enola went in alone. At the same time, someone arrived, and it was Sherlock Holmes. He was there to investigate a case related to Enola's case, the match factory. Sherlock says that Enola's fingerprints were taken from the desk where she worked and attached to the knife that killed May. It was all the Grail's doing. The two of them go upstairs and find a dead William. William was Sarah's lover, as well as the fedora hat thief. The crime scene revealed that William was killed by the Grail and his men.
Grail.
And based on the cigars and wool on the bench, the order to kill came from the Minister of Finance. He signed a contract with the factory owner to substitute cheaper phosphorus.
McIntyre, Treasury Minister.
Then Tewkesbury came after the Enola. But Sherlock says that it wasn't the Minister of Finance who ordered the murder because there are no indentations on the carpet to indicate that he sat on the chair. The drink had no lip marks, so someone tried to accuse the minister of being behind it, while the man himself was extorting the factory owner. Enola then found the piece of paper from William's hand. The sheet is the same as the musical notes May left behind. Tewkesbury gives a clue that it is not a song's title, but the seat's name in the theater above. Thanks to Tewkesbury, the three continue their journey to the theater where Sarah and May work. Long story short, Enola realized that if the paper showed someone's seat, it was true that under the bench was proof of the contract between the factory owner and the Minister of Finance. There is also the paper that Sarah tore up containing the names of the girls who died from the phosphorus. Sarah then appeared. She was relieved that Tewkesbury had also arrived. Tewkesbury will take the case to Parliament and make justice, but Sarah is shocked when they tell her that William is dead.
I'm sorry.
Soon, the Grail arrives, holding Bessie hostage. The Grail wants the paper that Enola is holding. Luckily, Bessie could bite the Grail's hand, and they all quickly fled. Enola continues to be chased by the Grail. Sherlock was also shot in the shoulder. Tewkesbury, meanwhile, struggles with the police officers. Sherlock then threw a sword at Tewkesbury to fight the police. Grail managed to get into the dressing room. She found Enola hiding, but then Bessie appears. With great struggle, Enola managed to escape from the Grail. She climbed onto the bridge that was hanging there. Grail continued to chase Enola and stabbed her. But what Grail used was May's prop knife. Enola was not hurt by the stabbing. Everyone was busy fighting their respective enemies, until Enola was hit by Grail. And Grail managed to snatch the paper from Enola's hand. Enola, lying on her back, looked at the place carefully, remembering everything her mother taught her. Enola also pulled the rope that made Grail have to be thrown up. The paper was then taken by Sarah. Soon, the finance minister arrived with Mira Troy and Inspector Lestrade. It was Sherlock who invited him to come. The minister immediately took the paper from Sarah's hand. He then ordered Lestrade to arrest Sarah on charges of blackmail. But Sherlock then explains that the original blackmail was not done by Sarah, but by Mira Troy, the finance minister's secretary, who had all the funds in her account. Mira Troy was also the one who paid Inspector Grail and framed the finance minister as the mastermind. She was also the one who had led Enola to approach William.
Question William myself. You were so...
She did that because in England at that time, black women were not allowed to enter clubs, not allowed to have a career, and not allowed to own shares. So she did it her way, and she enjoyed it.
And it was.
Inspector Lestrade promptly arrested him. Before leaving, Moriarty says it's not over. The minister then burns all the evidence, so Sarah can't charge him with corruption or killing workers at the match factory.
Back to business.
The next day, Enola, Sarah, and Bessie returned to the factory. Sarah went up to the table to speak loudly to all her friends. The factory owner was also listening. She explained what had happened to her friends who had suddenly disappeared. The phosphorus used in the match factory would eventually kill them. Sarah also invited everyone to join her in protesting against working in the match factory. But the foreman said that if they left, they could never return, and their families would starve. They were scared. But then Bessie protested with the sound of her foot stomping. Just by stomping it, it meant they agreed with Sarah.
Bloody women!
Everyone united to come out of the factory and protest. Enola's mother was proud to see her daughter doing the right thing. After it was all over, Enola planned to open another detective office at Edith's place. Sherlock then arrives with the news that Tewkesbury has arrested the finance minister. Sherlock then offers Enola to become his partner. He will work together to solve the case, and the name becomes Holmes and Holmes. Sherlock also invites Enola to come to his house. Enola made an appointment for them to meet on Thursday at 4 p.m. Enola left afterwards because Tewkesbury had already picked her up. Sherlock then thanked Edith for all her help. Finally, Enola and Tewkesbury are officially in a relationship. Meanwhile, Sherlock reads the news in the newspaper that Mira Troy, aka Moriarty, has escaped from prison. Thursday arrived, and the clock struck 4 p.m. Sherlock had been waiting for Enola's arrival, but it was a man. He said that a girl had told him to come there. It was a man named Dr. John Watson.
Please, do come in.
Sarah Chapman also successfully pioneered the first women's labor protest movement. As a result of her protest, the women got better working conditions. And the movie is over. Don't forget to click subscribe, like, and comment.